No time for the doubt, they counting me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win, yeah. Refuse, mine it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it. They told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie. I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like told me, keep on running toes, they gon' take them. Refuse to lose, built to win. Applied myself, I felt it in. No time for the doubt, they counting me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I pay for the cost, I'm winning to win, yeah. Refuse to lose, I'm built to win. Applied myself.
Welcome back to CTC. I am your gracious host, Carl, and I'm here for the Saturday recaps. And we had a pretty good game of college football. We had some good morning games. We had a shootout with Memphis, SMU, Louisville, Miami, Rutgers, and Penn State. Wasn't really a shootout. It was a defensive struggle like I thought. Utah, man, we got to talk about that. Oregon State, almost, in my opinion, pulled off the upset, but Washington was able to hang on. We had Kansas shootout. We'll talk about that. We had Texas, Iowa State in the defensive slugfest, and then Georgia, boat race Tennessee. We got we got to talk about Clemson getting the W at home against North Carolina. And last but certainly not least, we have to talk about I just had the team name on the tip of my tongue. Oh man, we gotta talk about right here. UCLA and Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams' last game in the Coliseum. We have to talk about that. Before we get into that, though, I would like to ask you to leave a like, comment, subscribe. It helps the network. It helps the channel. If you like any of the shows on this network, we got the main show featuring Joe, Tomo, and Dave. We got FFC Fantasy Football with Coach Coombs, BWT Baseball with Teddy, RBO Real Ballers Only, Dave's Doghouse, Joe Jordan show, and we got In the Red Corner. So if you like any of the content on this network, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and if you know, go down the rabbit hole. If you like what you're listening to, stick with us. Now, before I get into any of that, I would like to say prayers up to Jordan Travis. He was carted off the field against Northern Alabama last night, so prayers up. Hopefully, you know what I'm saying, it's not too bad. I don't think from what it looked like, he might be done for the year. I hope not, because he was on the road with Florida State. He was going to bring Florida State back to glory in the playoffs, in my opinion, but unfortunate circumstances do happen. This is football, and injuries are a part of the game as much as it sucks. I mean, I was rooting for him. As y'all know, I had him as my Heisman, preseason Heisman. I had Florida State making the playoffs, going undefeated. Now, who I had them playing in the ACC championship game is different than who they will be playing, which is Louisville, but yet and still, I had them there and winning. So prayers up, man. Prayers up to Jordan Travis. It sucks. Injuries suck. So let's get into our show. So we got our first game. Rutgers 6 at Penn State 27. Like I said, man, it was a defensive struggle, defensive slugfest. Gavin Wimsey at the end of the game, 2 interceptions. You had a fumble and a pick. Penn State, I believe, was able to cash in on both of those, which made the score worse than what it was. But let's get into it. So Penn State starts with a 3-and-out punt. Rutgers starts with a 35-yard field goal set up by Gavin Wimsey, 22-yard run. And he actually was doing well on that drive. Now Penn State answers with a 2-yard Katron Allen touchdown run set up by Liam Clifford, 15-yard catch. Rutgers then botched the handoff, which leads to a Penn State 21-yard field goal. Penn State's Nick Singleton would then fumble, which would lead to a Rutgers 3-and-out punt. Rutgers 28-yard field goal, gets a 28-yard field goal before the half, set up by Isaiah Washington, 19-yard catch. Rutgers will start the second half with a 3-and-out punt, while Penn State will start with a turnover on downs. 4th and 1, the run is stuffed, leads to a 3-and-out punt. Penn State will then score a 48-yard field goal. Then Gavin Wimsatt would be sacked and fumbled, which would lead to a K-Train Island 3-yard touchdown run. Now, on that drive where Gavin Wimsatt was strip sacked, they were actually moving the ball down the field. I believe they were in Penn State territory when it happened. Just unfortunate circumstances. And then Gavin Wimsatt again in Penn State territory. He had 3 in his back pocket. He throws a pick, however. I think it was like a nickel blitz, and the defender came down and replaced, made a major interception. Leads to a 1-yard Bo Pribula touchdown run. Now, and that'd be it for the game, but Drew Allard did leave the game with an injury, so prayers up to him. Hopefully that's not bad. But the backup Drew Pribula, say that 5 times fast. Drew Pribula came in. He actually looked pretty good. I mean, he's normally into like run the ball and things like that, but I think he ran the offense pretty well, pretty decent. So I think he'll be okay. Now they do play my Spartans next Friday, in Ford Field. Y'all know I do have a bet with Ty. For those who don't know, I have a bet with Ty. A lot is on the line. 300 push-ups, $10, and you got to play the fight song while doing the push-up. So it's a lot on the line there. So yeah, next week, man, big game. Not necessarily in college, but for bragging rights in these chats. If you want to be in these chats, you got to be a member. But we move on to one of our better games of the day. SMU 38, Memphis 34. SMU, I believe, all but clinched a spot in the AAC championship game. I'm not sure. I don't know if they lose the Navy, what happens. I don't know. I don't know if they lose the Navy, do they still get in? Does the loser then it's just Tulane and UTSA just having a pre-AAC championship game? I don't know. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. So, but either way, SMU stays undefeated in the American Conference. Memphis starts with a Demir Blankumsey fumble, which leads to a 43-yard RJ Maryland touchdown catch on believe on 4th down. I think they were going to punt, then they called timeout, ended up going for it, and led to the RJ Maryland touchdown. Then Memphis answers with a 47-yard field goal set up by Rock Taylor, 24-yard catch. Memphis would then score a 23-yard Demir Blankumsey touchdown catch. Then with 6:07 left in the second quarter, SMU scores a 1-yard Preston Stone touchdown run set up by Preston Stone 16-yard run. Then Memphis would answer with a 36-yard field goal set up by Kobe Drake 18-yard catch. SMU would start the second half with a 1-yard LJ Johnson touchdown run set up by Jake Bailey 24-yard catch. I believe on like 3rd and 12. Memphis ran a cover 2. Y'all know I hate 3rd and 4th and long cover 2s. Defensive coordinators do it anyway. SMU converts. Memphis starts with a 1-yard Brandon Thomas touchdown run, and the 2-point would be good. Set up by Rock Taylor, 3 catches, 76 yards. Now, that is because of penalty yardage as well. That's how he got 76 yards on that drive. SMU would answer with a 1-yard Jalen Knight touchdown run. Set up by Keyshawn Smith. He had 2 catches for 58 yards on that drive. Then Memphis would answer with an 11-yard Blake Watson touchdown run set up by a Tansky Dove 24-yard catch. And then SMU would answer with a 32-yard field goal set up by Jordan Hudson 32-yard catch. And then with 2:41 left in the full quarter, SMU would score a 7-yard Jordan Hudson touchdown catch set up by Roderick Daniels 25-yard catch. And then Memphis would answer with a 20-yard Demir Blankumsey touchdown catch. But the PAT would be no good. That was set up by Blake Watson 19-yard catch. And SMU will recover the onside kick, and that would be your ball game. Memphis did a really good job offensively. They were able to move the ball up and down the field. It's just SMU made more plays. SMU got a couple more stops, obviously. Memphis got a couple stops too, don't get me wrong. But, man, when Memphis got a stop when SMU was up 3, and Memphis didn't take advantage on offense, SMU gets the ball back. They score, go up 10, and that was pretty much the ball game from there. So, really good game, though. Really good shootout. Entertaining game. I had that game. I was flip-flopping, obviously, between the 3, but I was mainly focused more so on Memphis, SMU, and Miami and Louisville. And like I said, man, a lot of explosiveness. Seth Hannigan had a really good game. Preston Stone had a good game. Rock Taylor, Demir Blankumsey, LJ Johnson. Just a pretty good game all around. Just really good game. So we move on to Louisville at Miami. 38-31 for Louisville. Louisville has now clinched, like I said earlier, the spot in the ACC championship game to play Florida State for the for it all. Now, hopefully, Jordan Travis will be there. Hopefully, again, that leg injury isn't as bad, but don't look too good. For Miami to start, they started 3-0 punt. Louisville starts with a 2-yard Nate Kurtz touchdown catch. Nate Kursky touchdown catch, set up by a Nate Kursky 23-yard catch. Miami will answer with a 21-yard Mark Fletcher touchdown run, set up by Jacoby George 43-yard catch. Jack Plummer, gotta stop the picks, man. Jack Plummer would throw a pick to Cam Kinchins, which leads to a 15-yard Xavier Restrepo touchdown catch. Louisville will answer with a 12-yard Isaac Garendo touchdown run, set up by Isaac Garendo 21-yard run. And then that was set up by a huge kickoff return right after the touchdown. With 7:42 left in the second quarter, Miami scored a 34-yard Rashad Smith touchdown run, set up by Xavier Restrepo 17-yard catch. Then Louisville will score a 24-yard. Louisville will miss a 24-yard field goal, which will lead to a punt. And then Louisville will score a 1-yard Travante Sylvester touchdown catch, set up by roughing the passer call, but the point after will be blocked. And then Louisville will start the second half with a 40-yard field goal set up by Isaac Garendo, 26-yard run. And Miami will start with a punt. But then Miami will get the ball back and score a 1-yard Mark Fletcher Jr. touchdown run, set up by a 54-yard Mark Fletcher Jr. run. With 11:02 left in the fourth quarter, Louisville will score a 5-yard Evan Conley touchdown run. But the 2-point will be good. That was set up by Joey Gatewood, 22-yard catch. And then Miami will answer with a 51-yard a 51-yard field goal set up by Mark Fletcher, having 3 carries for 22 yards. And then Louisville will answer with a Kevin Coleman 58-yard touchdown catch. And then Miami will turn the ball over on 4th and goal with a chance to tie it. TVD was too high on the pass to Jacoby George. Then after that, Jacoby George will get an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. Just stupid penalty. He smacked the defender in the face mask. That's going to get you a flag every time. It gives Louisville a chance, some room to breathe. But they do go 3-and-out and punt. Miami would get a Hail Mary attempt. And Xavier Restrepo would make the catch, but he is short, about 3-4 yards, maybe 5, and the game is over. That was it. That was 0 seconds on the clock. Now, I want to talk about this. First, I want to talk about the Louisville big play that won them the game. It was a simple flat slant route, a slant combination. So slant-flat combination. The two defenders run head first into each other. Well, not head first, but full speed into each other. Kevin Coleman's wide open, takes it down the sideline. I believe he makes Cam Kitchens miss to score because it's not like he broke away and nobody was near him. He had to make a guy miss. I believe it was Cam Kitchens. I'm not sure. Don't quote me. But he does make a guy miss, and he scores. Now I want to talk about the play calling on Miami's 4th and goal turnover on downs. So Miami is killing Louisville on the ground, Mark Fletcher. I've been saying it since game 1 to now. Louisville is susceptible to the run. They are killing them on the ground. 2nd and goal comes, and they go 3 straight pass plays. Why are you not running the football? It's not like you're short on time. You had all your timeouts. It was over a minute some change, I believe. Because before the 4th and goal, I believe they called a timeout to get that play in. Run the ball 2nd, maybe 3rd down, 4th down, then we could pass it. But you've been killing with Mark Fletcher on the ground. How do you not attempt to run the football there? Bad play calling, in my opinion, to end the game. Jacoby George, again, you can't have that personal foul. I understand you're upset. You felt like you was grabbed, which honestly, it was marginal contact, and it was within 5 yards. So I don't know why you were crying. And then you tried to sell it to your coach like he really did all this. No, he didn't. You not only did you do that, but you weren't even telling the truth. He did not grab you up like this. No, he did not. So can't have it. I know tempers flare. Can't have it. There was also a temper flare moment after the 3-and-out punt, would cost them another 15 yards. Again, you cannot have it. You got to keep your composure. Miami just late game, man. I don't know what's going on. Just self-destructed. Now they play, and I just looked it up. Why do I keep forgetting who Miami plays at the end of the year? They play, let me look. I forgot that fast. And I just looked it up too. Who is it? I don't think it's an ACC school. Or maybe it is. No, it's not Ball State. That's Miami of Ohio. Is this just the home schedule? Yeah, this is just the home schedule. Oh, I'm on images. Excuse me. Dog, I just had it. Oh my god, I just had that schedule up here. I just looked at it yesterday. I was talking to Dave about it because I had them finish at 8-4. Right now they're 6-5. Maybe they could finish 7-5. They play Boston College. That's what it is. It is an ACC school. They play Boston College the end of the year. Have to win that game, just for some pride. I mean, if they finish 75, it's one game off of 8-4. I was close, but either way, gotta win it. But we move on to a game. Oh, by the way, so Penn State Rutgers, I picked Penn State. SMU Memphis, I picked SMU, but I took the 8.5 with Memphis. Louisville, Miami. I don't understand how Louisville became dogs, but I did take Louisville. They win. Now, this game, Utah, Arizona, I took Utah, and boy, was I wrong. Arizona came out to a quick, fast start and boat raced them. So, 22th ranked Utah lost to 17th ranked Arizona, 18-42. And it was all because of the first half. Honestly, first half really what killed it. First 4 drives, Arizona scored touchdowns, including a punt return touchdown. So really 3, and then the special teams. But let's get into it. Arizona starts with the Tutorial McMillan 21-yard touchdown pass to Michael Wiley. Yes, you heard me correctly. He threw the touchdown. Utah will start with a 3-and-out punt that is blocked by Arizona and return for a touchdown. Arizona would score a 32-yard Montana Luminous Craig touchdown catch. Then Arizona would score a 31-yard Michael Wiley touchdown catch. Then Utah's Bryson Barnes would throw an interception. He had 2 on the day, leading to a 3-and-out punt. Utah would score a Devon Bailey 20-yard touchdown catch. Bailey also had 2 catches for 39 yards prior to that touchdown catch on that drive. Arizona would miss a 37-yard field goal before the half. Then Utah would start the second half with a 36-yard field goal set up by Manir McLean 23-yard catch. Arizona would start with a 50-yard field goal miss, which leads to a Utah turnover on downs, 4 for 3 passes incomplete, which would lead to an Arizona punt. And then Bryson Barnes would throw another interception, which would lead to a 1-yard Jonah Coleman touchdown run. Then Utah would have a 4th and 20 intentional grounding, turnover on downs, which would lead to a 3-and-out punt for Arizona, which would lead to Utah scoring a 2-yard Manir McLean touchdown catch, with the 2-point being good, set up by Landy King, who had 2 catches for 50 yards. And then Arizona would answer with a Tutorial McMillan 51-yard touchdown catch. And that'll be a ball game. Again, Arizona, first quarter, first half, whatever you have it, 28 points, 28 zip. Utah does not have the offense to come back from point differentials, let alone 28 points. So Arizona just had to put it at cruise control for real. Just don't give up too many points. Play defense, which they did. They gave up 18 on the game, put up 42. Utah is not going to normally win a game like that. So shout out Arizona for keep on winning. They should move up in the rankings a little bit more. This was a huge win for them. Arizona's having a really good year again. Ever since Noah Fafita came in and turned everything around, from tough losses to SC to tough losses to Washington to now beating Utah to beating Colorado to beating, I believe, Washington State to beating. Hold on, give me a second here. They got some good quality wins though. I think they beat Stanford, I believe, or do they play Stanford? And now they finished the season with Arizona State, which that should be a win. Arizona State is reeling. Arizona could possibly finish the year with 10 wins. Beating Arizona State and winning their bowl game could possibly end with 10 wins, which would be phenomenal. Jedd Fisch that would be great for Jedd Fisch and the Wildcats. Yeah, so let's see. They beat. I think I'm going too far. Oh my God, why is it like this? Give me one more second. Here we go, right here. Boom. 8-3. They have beaten. So Northern Arizona was before Fafita. Mississippi State loss was before Fafita. UTEP was before Fafita, I believe. Then I think Stanford was before Fafita, maybe. Let me look. I can't remember when he came in. Yeah, so Stanford was before Fafita. And then I believe he came in on the Washington loss, which that was a close game. The overtime loss to USC, and then now they have rattled off wins against Washington State, Oregon State, UCLA, Colorado, and now Utah for a 5-game win streak. Yeah, so they play Arizona State. They would only have, they're not only, they would have 2 They have 2 Pac-12 losses. They would need Oregon to lose to Oregon State to perhaps maybe have a chance for the Pac-12 championship game. I think. I don't know if they're still in it because they didn't play Oregon. And Oregon State could very well lose the Civil War against Oregon State. They've lost 2 of the last 3. Oregon State is a really good football team. We'll talk about them a little bit later on, but they play Washington in the last minute. Let's look at the Pac-12 standings real quick. I said Pac-12 football. I said standings, and then it brought up the American. All right, so at 1, obviously we have Washington undefeated. 2, we have Oregon 7-1. 3, we have Arizona State at 6-2. Oregon State will be playing spoiler as they are 5-3, so they have no chance to play in the Pac-12 championship. But they can, like I said, spoil Oregon. And if Arizona can win against Arizona State, that's real. I don't know who gets in. I would be on the edge of my seat just like you all. But yeah, so we gotta move on though. 2, Georgia boat race in Tennessee. I ain't gonna spend too much time on this game. I'll go over the recap real quick, but pretty much Georgia. Tennessee got the one play to start the game with the 75-yard touchdown run by Jalen Wright. And then after that, Tennessee offense was stagnant for like the rest of the game. Not saying they did nothing, but they couldn't finish drives. They had hard times moving up and down the field while Georgia was just moving the rock left and right. So Georgia wins 38-10. Probably, dominant fashion. Still going to be number 1 Tuesday when college dropped their when the college football committee dropped their top 25. Georgia should be at the top of it. But Tennessee, like I said, starts with a 75-yard Jalen Wright touchdown run. Georgia starts with a 42-yard field goal set up by Ra Thomas, 18-yard catch, which he would leave the game and will later be out, I think, with a foot. Georgia would score a Dylan Bell 18-yard touchdown pass to Marcus Rosemary Jack Saint. And Jack Saint also had a 21-yard catch to set it up. That was his first of 2 touchdowns. With 8:04 left in the second quarter, Georgia scored the Dylan Bell 9-yard touchdown catch set up by Brock Bowers' 21-yard catch. Georgia would then score a 3-yard Brock Bowers touchdown catch set up by Marcus Rosemary's Jack Saint 34-yard catch. Tennessee would answer with a 37-yard field goal before the half, and that'd be it as they got shut out in the second half. But that was set up by Chris Nimrod 21-yard catch. Georgia would start the second half with a 3-and-out punt. Tennessee would start with a 3-and-out punt. Georgia would score an 8-yard Rosemary Jack Saint touchdown catch set up by Arian Smith 33-yard run. Georgia scored a 15-yard Kendall Milton touchdown run set up by Dylan Bell 19-yard catch. Tennessee misses a 56-yard field goal, which leads to a Georgia fumble, which leads to a Tennessee turnover on downs, 4th and 4 passes incomplete, which leads to a Georgia turnover on downs, 4th and 5. Brock Vandegrift is sacked, but that would lead to the end of the game. Like I said, man, Georgia just dominated Tennessee at home. Again, not really a fan of Joe Milton. He has a rocket arm. He can make NFL throws, but can he consistently make throws is the question. He was inaccurate. He had a couple deep balls he missed. It's football, so that happens. But he has to work on his accuracy. He has a huge arm. He has all the arm talent in the world. It's just the accuracy, being in present situations, playing on the road. I don't know. But we move on to North Carolina at Clemson. So 20th ranked North Carolina takes another fall at Clemson. I expect North Carolina not to be ranked at starting Tuesday. Rank Liberty. Liberty wins again, by the way, 11-0. One more game until Conference USA Championship game versus New Mexico State, who beat Auburn. Shout out New Mexico State. Respect Group of 5 schools, man. They just beat Auburn badly in Auburn. I think the score was 31-10. Destroyed Auburn. Respect these Group of 5 schools. They're going to earn it whether or not you do it. You might as well just do it. Rank Liberty. Now, JMU lost. Sucks. JMU lost to App State in a heartbreak in overtime on some shallow crosses. But JMU still 10-1. It just shows, man, Group of 5 got talent, man. It's long are the days where, use a Group of 5 school. You can put them against any Power 5 school. They getting smacked. No, those days are over with. Welcome to the new football. This ain't your 90s, 2000s granddad's football. Like, bruh, these schools got talent, and they can beat Power 5 schools. You see it during bowl games. You see it doing non-conference matchups. You see it in college basketball as well, but this college football segment. But, yeah, man, respect these Group of 5 schools. I know I just went on a little rant, but it makes me upset that these people don't respect these Group of 5 schools. They just always – we have 7-3 Tennessee in the top 20. Like, come on, bruh. I get there in the SEC. But come on, we're not going to put an undefeated Conference USA team who's been dominating their conference at least 25. And again, the only reason why y'all putting Tulane in the top 25 is because they got the Cotton Bowl win against SC last year. And Michael Pratt is back. Because truth be told, I mean, Tulane tough, don't get me wrong. But a lot of that team is gone. They're still a really good team. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying it's not the same Tulane team as last year. They're really good, undefeated American, will probably be in the American Championship game. But come on, man. These other teams are really good as well. So I'm sorry about my little rant, but it just makes me upset. But for UNC at Clemson, UNC will start with a Marion Hampton fumble. I believe one of his 2 fumbles. Clemson will start with a 3-and-out punt. Clemson, Tyler Davis will then fumble himself, which leads to a J.J. Jones 33-yard touchdown catch. Marion Hampton, yes, will fumble again. This one on a long touchdown run, so it was called a touchdown, but they called it back saying he fumbled before. And that would lead to a Jake Barnstable 3-yard touchdown catch. With 5:32 left in the second quarter, UNC turnover on downs, 4th and 2 on Marion Hampton with a 1-yard run. But that would just lead to a Clemson 3-and-out punt. Clemson's Will Shipley would then fumble, which would lead to a punt. Clemson would then score a 3-yard Cade Klubnik touchdown run, set up by roughing the passer. And Clemson would start the second half with a 3-and-out punt. UNC would start with a turnover on downs, 4th and 6. Drake May would be sacked, which would lead to a 3-yard field mouth for touchdown run. Then North Carolina would answer with a 55-yard Marion Hampton touchdown run. Clemson would answer with a Will Shipley 33-yard touchdown run set up by Will Shipley 31-yard run. Clemson scores a 21-yard field goal set up by 2 catches for 53 yards by Will Shipley. North Carolina would answer with a 3-yard Marion Hampton touchdown run set up by a 19-yard Nate McCullum catch, but the 2-point would be no good, which I don't understand why they went for 2. North Carolina turnover on downs, 4th and 20, passes incomplete, which leads to a 41-yard field goal miss, which leads to Drake May throwing a pick, which would lead to the end of the game. So, honestly, Clemson defense just came into play. Drake May was under a lot of duress. We had 2 fumbles and a pick, so the defense caused 3 turnovers, which Clemson always got a defense no matter what. Even on a down year, Clemson is going to have a defense. But Clemson offense went over 30 again. They went over 40 against Georgia Tech. They went over 30 against North Carolina. They went not North Carolina State. They lost that game, but the game before that, I want to say that was a weak opponent, but nonetheless, it's still Clemson and it's offense, so you still got to give them credit. But yeah, I think this is the 3rd week where they went over 30. So hats off to Clemson. They're finishing the year really well. They played my South Carolina Gamecocks to end the year. I need South Carolina to win that game to become bowl eligible, so I need Clemson to relax. But yeah, these last 3 weeks, Clemson has been playing pretty good football, from if I remember correctly. That's 23-24. I don't want that. Trying to find out the school before Georgia Tech. Notre Dame put up 30 against Notre Dame. That's what it was. 31, 42, 31. So, yep, 3 straight games over 30. Stumbled with the 2 losses to Miami and North Carolina State. But yeah, they can finish the season going 8-4, which is not bad. It's bad in terms of Clemson with the standard they have set. But in terms of regular and just being a regular season, that's not a bad season. But like I said, I need SC to become bowl eligible. I want to watch my team in the bowl game, so go SC. And I hate Clemson, so let's go. Moving on to UCLA at SC. Man, Caleb Williams' last game at the Coliseum, we're all assuming went terribly. SC would lose 20-38 to UCLA. Chip Kelly has bought himself more time, allegedly, for UCLA. But let's get into it. SC will start with a turnover on downs, 4th and 1. Austin Jones run his stuff. Set up, leads to a UCLA 1-yard TJ Harden touchdown run. Then with 3:47 left in the first quarter, Zachariah Branch would get hit and fumbles. Leads to a Hudson Habermill 14-yard touchdown catch. Then Caleb Williams would throw a pick, but it would lead to a UCLA 3-and-out punt. Then SC would score a 74-yard Brendan Rice touchdown catch. But then UCLA would miss a 36-yard field goal, leads to a 3-and-out punt. And then SC would miss a 25-yard field goal, which is crazy. But that leads to a UCLA punt. And then SC would score a 34-yard field goal before the half, set up by Marshawn Lloyd with 2 catches for 44 yards. He was running hard, and later in the game, we'll see how he was running too hard, and it cost him. UCLA would start with the second half. TJ Harden, 7-yard touchdown catch. But then SC would start with on the first play, Marshawn Lloyd trying to make a play, ran right, trying to cut back left. He gets blasted, fumbles, and Alex Johnson is right there to pick it up and score a touchdown. Then SC would answer with a 34-yard field goal set up by Brendan Rice, 24-yard catch. UCLA will answer with a 35-yard field goal set up by TJ Harden, 58-yard run. SC will have a turnover on downs, 4th and 2. Taj Washington, 1-yard catch, which leads to a 15-yard Hudson Hypermill touchdown catch. And then SC will answer with a 7-yard Austin Jones touchdown run set up by Taj Washington, 23-yard catch. And UCLA will kill the last 3:52 to win the game. Really, it was SC defense, man. SC defense. They did get a couple stops. They actually played better in the second half. I will say that. To only give up 10 points in the second half is actually really good for SC defense. But that first half, UCLA was able to get whatever it wanted. Just missed field goals here and there. Offensively too for SC, man. Threw a pick, had a turnover on downs, had a fumble. Technically 3 turnovers. I count turnover on downs as turnovers. It's literally turnover in the name. So literally 3 turnovers in the first half for SC with that defense. You're not doing yourself no favors. Is this SC team just honestly look like it's giving up? I wouldn't even expect a good performance in a bowl game. I wouldn't expect Caleb Williams to play in a bowl game. I think this season's over. I know they have an extra game, but the season's over for SC. Now for UCLA, they play really inspired. They're going to play really good defense. Like I said, they got with Levi, who with 11. I think he had another sack last night. That D-line is always going to come to play. The defense is going to come to play. The offense is a bit shaky, but against SC defense, I could throw Pop Warner offense out there and probably get 20 yards. So jokes. But you know what I'm saying? This defense for SC is not really good at all. So Lincoln Riley is going to have to do a better job. He's going to have to get with his recruiters, and they're going to have to do a really better job about recruiting these defensive players. Maybe they need a deep defensive coordinator. I don't know what it is, but this SC defense looks maybe worse than last year. So got to get that fixed. We move on to a Sunflower Showdown. Kansas State at Kansas. And Kansas State would erase what was it? Believe it was a 6-point difference. No. Because they scored 2 straight touchdowns. Then they was down 8. Then they was down 8 or something like that, or 10. They would erase an 8 or 10-point difference to win the game. Funny enough, when I was watching the game, the broadcasters was like, man, Kansas State, man, their defense of late been kind of causing turnovers, which has been allowing them to win. And they're not winning because their defense hasn't caused turnovers. And then their defense gets 2 straight picks to win the game. So shout out to the defense. Now, let's start with the game. So Kansas State wins 31-27. Okay. So Georgia, I usually pick Georgia to win. Carolina, I picked Carolina to win. I picked Clemson to win, but Carolina to cover the 7.5. That didn't happen. I picked SC to win. For sure didn't happen. I picked Kansas State to win if Jason Bean didn't play, which he didn't. I picked Kansas to win if he did play. Again, he didn't. So I picked Kansas State. They came back and won the game. 21st ranked Kansas State beats 25th ranked Kansas, so I don't expect them to be ranked after Tuesday. But K-State starts with an 11-yard Ben Sinnott touchdown catch set up by Jace Brown, 46-yard catch. Kansas will start with a 3-and-out punt, but then Kansas will score a 36-yard Devin Neal touchdown run, which he had an amazing game on a 4th and 2 conversion. Set up by a 4th and 2 conversion. Kansas would score a 9-yard Devin Neal touchdown run, but the PAT would be blocked in return for 2 points by Kansas State. That was set up by Luke Grimm, 33-yard catch. Kansas State will answer with an 11-yard Keegan Johnson touchdown catch set up by a defensive holding on 4th and 3. Kansas will answer with a 5-yard Lawrence Arnold touchdown catch set up by a defensive pass interference. Kansas would then start the second half with a 2-yard Devin Neal touchdown run set up by Mason Fairchild, 59-yard catch. K-State will answer with a 3-and-out punt. Start with a 3-and-out punt. Kansas State will score a 1-yard DJ Giddens touchdown run set up by Trayshawn Ward, 52-yard run. But the 2-point would be good. Then Cole Ballard would throw his first pick, which would lead to a Will Howard interception, which would lead to a Kansas punt. And then K-State will muff the punt. K-State will punt. Then it would be muffed by Kansas, which will lead to a Will Howard 14-yard touchdown run. So that's another turnover, but that's special teams, not defense. Then Kansas, Cole Ballard would throw a pick, which will lead to K-State killing the clock. And that would be your ball game. Kansas State escapes 31-27 with 3 late turnovers. Now, one didn't kill you because your defense, Mello Dotson, one of my players, I said needed a pick, catches a pick. So, no harm, no foul. But then you punt. Then K-State goes to punt. and you muff it. So that one kills you because that leads to a Will Howard touchdown. Then Kansas will then you have a chance to win it, and Cole Ballard would then throw another pick, and then Kansas State ices the game. Turnovers, man. Oklahoma State, it killed them against Oklahoma State. 2 turnovers, I think, by being 2 picks against Oklahoma State allows Oklahoma State to win that game. This game, turnovers. Case, if you want to see a Kansas loss, look for the turnovers. You'll probably find your answer. Going to our second to last game, we had a banger. I know this was my most anticipated game of my 10 I picked. Washington, 5th ranked Washington escapes 11th ranked Oregon State, 22-20. I picked Washington. I didn't know why Washington were underdogs, and Oregon State almost showed me why. So for Washington, they start with a 12-yard Rome Odunze touchdown catch. They go right down and score. Set up by Rome Odunze, 25-yard catch. Oh, Jalen McMillan will be back this game, by the way. He was back. Oregon State starts with a 3-yard Damian Martinez touchdown run. Set up by Damian Martinez, 16-yard run. He had a really good night. Oklahoma State will botch the snap of a punt, and the punt will be high. The punter kicks the ball out of bounds, obviously a safety and a flag, but it don't matter. You get a safety anyway. But that would lead to a punt. Then Washington's Dylan Jones. Hold on. I think that was Dylan Johnson. I think I wrote it wrong. I was watching the game. I might have wrote the name wrong, but I'm pretty sure Dylan Johnson fumbled. Let me look that real quick. That might have been a miswrite on my end. I did not mean to hit box score. Jesus. Let's see. I'm pretty sure that was Dylan Johnson. I just wrote the name wrong. Yeah, Dylan Johnson. Wrote the name wrong. All right. That's a human error on my end. Dylan Johnson would fumble. Leads to an Anthony Gold fumble, which would lead to a Michael Penix 5-yard touchdown run after a defensive pass interference. The Oregon State would answer with a 38-yard field goal set up by, I believe, Damian Martinez, who had 4 carries for 46 yards. Boy, was I messing up. It got late, so I might have been tired. Washington answers with a 32-yard Rome Odunze touchdown catch, and the 2-point would be no good. And that'd be it for Washington. Oregon State, DJU would throw a pick, which leads to halftime. Oh, that's not it for Washington. Oh, no, that was it, because I believe Washington got shut out in the second half. Oregon State would start the second half with an interception, which leads to a Washington 39-yard field goal miss, which would swing momentum, because then Oregon State would just move the ball up and down the field. So Oregon State would then score a Damian Martinez 5-yard touchdown run. That was a 16-play drive. It just killed a lot of clock. I got it right here. It ended up killing 9 minutes and 56 seconds. So damn near 10 minutes. We'll just say 10 minutes. Then Oregon State would get a 35-yard field goal set up by DJU, 26-yard run on 4th and 2. And then Oregon State with a chance to take the lead late. 4th and 5, the pass would be incomplete. They sent the blitz. DJU threw the ball nowhere near anybody. And then Washington will run out the last 2 minutes and 8 seconds to hold on and win the game. Again, Washington shut out in the second half, but they are able to survive. They scored 22 in the first half, which was just good enough to win the game. Honestly, for real, Damian Martinez had a really good game. He showed you why he was the all Pac-12 running back, first team. He had, I got the stats right here. He had 26 carries for 123 yards and 2 touchdowns. Michael Penix didn't have a bad game, 13 of 28 for 162 or 2 touchdowns, but a lot of that was due to drop passes. Had Jalen Pope drop a couple passes, Jalen McMillan drop a couple passes. And I mentioned, I said, I know Carl, y'all like, why are you talking about Jack Westover? Jack Westover. Jack Westover was second in the team, 4 catches, 43 yards. I knew he was going to be the X factor. Rome Odunze had 7 for 106 and 2 touchdowns. But like I said, right below him was 4 for 43, Jack Westover. So that's why I brought up Jack Westover, man. I told y'all, man, if I had a feeling. But great game. I know it started raining too. That's why some people started dropping some passes. But yeah, good game. Oregon State's defense was for real. I got some honorable mentions on my major performances involved in this game, so I'm going to keep that tucked. So I'm going to go into our last game, Texas at Iowa State. I picked Texas to win. And Texas will win 26-16 in a defensive slugfest. Texas will score a little bit late in the game. This game was closer to 10 points. Honestly, it was like 0-0 for a lot of the game. But let's get into it real quick. So Texas will start with a punt. Iowa State will start with a punt. Iowa State would score a 45-yard field goal set up by defensive pass interference. With 11:17 left in the second quarter, Texas scored a 39-yard field goal. Iowa State was 51-yard field goal is missed, which leads to a Xavier Worthy fumble, which leads to an Iowa State punt. And the Texas 50-yard field goal was good before the half. So they're up 6-3. And that was set up by Jordan Whittingham, 30-yard catch. Then Iowa State to start the second half with a punt. Texas will start the second half with a 23-yard Jordan Whittingham touchdown catch, set up by C.J. Baxter, 4 carries for 34 yards on that drive. Now Iowa State will answer with a 14-yard Eli Sanders touchdown catch, set up by Jaden Higgins, 33-yard catch, and the point after would be blocked and returned for Texas by Texas for 2 points. So that's the second time, funny enough, both Big 12 schools, where we had the blocked extra point lead to 2 points the other way. Iowa State's Rocco Beck interception leads to 31-yard Gunnar Helm touchdown catch, and the 2 point will be good. Iowa State will answer with a 66-yard Easton Dean touchdown catch. And then Texas will answer with a 42-yard field goal set up by a defensive pass interference. And Iowa State on 4th and 17, Carson Henson, 11-yard catch, which is 6 yards short, which will lead to the end of the game. And like I said, man, this was just a defensive slugfest. Texas will end up winning by 10, but like I said, the score at half was 6-3. It's just Texas outscored Iowa State 20-13, which is only 7 points in the second half. Iowa State, I said it, Iowa State, if there's a team to keep Texas on the lower end of the scoreboard, it would be Matt Campbell and his Iowa State defense. They did a great job against this offense. This offense was stagnant for all of the first half, to be honest. Got a little footing left in the second half, but Iowa State's offense, man, left a little bit to be desired with the interception. You can't throw interceptions to the better team. You can't have turnovers when you're going against a better team. The 2 point on the extra point, that was a huge swing right there. The interception led to 7. The 2 points, that's 9. That's 1 point difference right there. If you take those away, you just can't have it. But shout out anyway for them even being bowl eligible, because I didn't have that happen in the beginning of the year. Matt Campbell has done a really good job of all the turmoil, the gambling situation and everything like that. Not having Hunter Deckers. He's done a really good job with this team. Now, lastly, I'm going to get into major performances. I didn't talk about the upsets and everything like that in my little spiel. So I'm going to get into major performances, and then I'm going to be out of here. So for major performances, I got 12 with 2 honorable mentions. I feel like that's fair. Now, some people didn't make the list. Some people's going to have really good games and not make the list. It's all good. Some of the people that make the list is reoccurring anyway. So first one, Frank Harris, senior night at UTSA, 31-46, 411 yards. 3 touchdowns, 10 carries, 112 yards, and 3 touchdowns on the ground. 6 total touchdowns for UTSA. Frank Harris, what a game against UCF. Brennan Jackson, 2 fumble recoveries for 2 touchdowns. Are you kidding me? Over 100 yards in those recoveries for Washington State. 2 tuds on the defensive side of the ball for sure is major performance. Malik Carr, my MSU Spartans finally get a guy on here. 9 catches, 100 yards, and a win, and 2 touchdowns, and a win against Indiana for MSU. Major performance. I believe he had a one-hand catch, too. Major performance. Seth Hannigan in a losing effort, 35-51, 402 yards and 2 tuds for Memphis. Demir Blakency, 9 catches, 114 yards, and 2 tuds for Memphis in a losing effort. Major performance by both of those guys. Just couldn't get the dub. Malik Jackson, 9 carries, 193 yards, 2 touchdowns for Jack State, and a blowout win. I believe, I can't remember. Jesus. It's not, I almost said New Mexico State, but it's not them. I can't remember who Jack State played. They didn't play Sam Houston. Who did they play? No, it wasn't Louisiana Tech. Was it Louisiana Tech? Yep, and a blowout win against Louisiana Tech. Great game by Malik Jackson. Major performance. Anthony Calandria. I love Anthony Calandria, bro. Just got to stop the picks he had 9 against Duke with a win against Duke. He went 21 for 30, 278, 3 tuds, 9 carries for 66 yards for UVA and a win. You know his counterpart, Malik Washington, had most of them. Malik Washington and Malachi Fields both had amazing games for Virginia in the upset win against Duke. Omarion Hampton in the losing effort, 19 carries, 178 yards, and 2 tuds for UNC. He also did have the 2 fumbles, but those are still amazing numbers. Ricky White, UNLV. UNLV may have just punched their chance into the Mountain West Championship. Did not see that coming. Ricky White with 8 catches, 169 yards, and a tud for UNLV as they win their game against Air Force. in an upset. Ollie Gordon, 25 carries, 164 yards, and 3 touchdowns as Oklahoma State beats Houston. Devin Neal in a losing effort, 18 carries, 138 yards, and 3 touchdowns for Kansas. Almost willed Kansas to the win by himself. And I got George Holani for Boise State, 15 carries, 178 yards, and 2 touchdowns as Boise State blows out Utah State. And my 2 honorable mentions, I got to give these DBs some love in the Washington-Oregon State game. Ryan Cooper of Oregon State and Jabbar Muhammad of Washington. It was nothing going on that side, man. If you was throwing that way, it was incomplete. Them boys was on lockdown last night for Washington and Oregon State, so I got to give them their honorable mentions here. None of them had a pick, but they played hell of a game for one another teams. Lockdown, like I said, just a great game for those 2 guys. Hey, them boys been running the rock. They've been going crazy this year. I'm not surprised. But yeah, that's all I got for y'all today. Y'all enjoy y'all NFL Sunday. We got 28 minutes to kick off. I don't got to worry about my team. We won on Thursday. Prayers up to Joe Burrow. However, I know his season is done, but prayers up that he, recovers well and gets ready for next year. I'm excited for football tonight. We got a couple. I'm excited for football tomorrow. We got the Eagles Chiefs, but I'm not an NFL show. I'm a college show. I will be back tomorrow to get y'all Tuesday and Thursday preview. I might get y'all Friday, but Friday I'm letting y'all know right now. I'm not doing every game Friday. I gotta put this up there. Why you make me do this, Joe? Why you make me do this? But yeah, I will be back. I'll probably do Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. I don't think I'm gonna do every Friday game because it's a lot. I might pick 3 or 4 because not all of them are good games either. I might just do 3 or 4 for Friday, but it's 2 or 3 Tuesday. It's 1 the Egg Bowl on Thursday, which they always play on Thursday, and I might do a couple Friday and then back to regular on Saturday. That's all I have for y'all today. Until tomorrow, peace.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all at the next episode.